Welcome to a Crippled Jesus video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build my farm base design that I built in my I got online in a berry base video, and I'm going to give you a little showcase around and then we're going to get into how you build it. This design at the moment is literally for if you want to use it as a proper base. You can obviously add wide gaps and you can add your own preferences to it if you want to, but this is just mainly just a farm base, so it's not really very practical as a full actual base. But coming up through here, come into your upper shell. After you come up through your ladder hatch, you can add ladder hatches on all three of them as well. Coming up here, in each of the segments you're going to have your water area in your shell, and you're going to have them in each of the segments as well. If this is just a pure farm base, then you're going to have them in every side, but you can add them as extra loot rooms if you want to. Coming in through the middle, this is your sort of way up to the roof, as well as your way in from your shell. On your roof, you've got some nice little roof peaks, and you've got some extra ones up here as well you can use to look down. And you've got a little heli area in here as well if you want to take heli from this base as well. But again, this isn't really like the best of the best bases to be using as like a full base for a full wipe. Coming in, you can add your batteries in here if you wanted to as well. And coming down here, you can have some more box space, you can have some more battery space down here as well, or more water, or anything you would like. Coming into the main area, you've got how you would have your water, how you'd have your planters all set up, and you'd have your water down there as well. Having this all set up like this optimizes the amount of planter box spaces, as well as keeping it as strong as possible. On this side, you can have it either the same as this or this. On this side, you've got your bedroom spaces above here, and down here you have an area for all of your mixing tables you're going to be using for all your berries. And then coming down here, you're going to have some extra honeycomb in these bits and some extra loot rooms. Following up into here, like I say, you can either copy this one over here, or you can copy this area over here as well. It is fully up to you. Coming down into the main core, you have a pancake layer to make it even stronger to get into your main core, and then you got a standard furnace jump, or you can add a ladder hatch if you want to. Coming down, you have an area for a box underneath and your tier 3. You can fit about 4 bags, maybe 5 in here at a time. You've got some area for electric furnaces or boxes, however you want. And you've got your standard core loot room and your TC behind a window here. So without further ado, let's get into how you build the base. And also, before we get into the base design, let me just say, when I first built this, I didn't build it as deep enough into the water. So if you're building this on a river, that's obviously perfect height for your it's obviously perfect height for everything inside of it. But like I say, the best way to build this base design is to make sure that you're in a river and that you have perfect space for everything, such as all like the water thingies, they're called water pumps. So like I say, in this one I didn't build this low enough in the water. So you're going to want to make sure that it's low enough before you actually start placing, because obviously this water is too shallow. So that's just a little heads up before you start building it. Make sure that you can place your water purifiers on the square area first, so just build the footprint first. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Start off, for the starter, I'm going to go with a triangle design like this. This is the floor footprint, and then eventually it goes out into a footprint looking just like this one here, with your center of the base in the middle here, with a bit of honeycomb here on these sides, both sides, and then one of them has a ladder hatch drop down, and you normally put that as far away from the TC as possible. So if you had the ladder hatch drop down here, you would have your TC in this corner. Right, so for the starter, you're going to want to wall off all of these around in a circle like that, and then you're going to want to put your TC as far over to the left as you possibly can. Just like that one, like that, there. And then let's upgrade all of this to Right, and then obviously, so this ceiling here, you're going to want to upgrade to high core as soon as possible, because you won't be able to access that later on. And then you're going to want to seal off the rest of these floors here, upgrading all of these to sheet metal, as you can see. And then obviously these floors you'll be able to access in future, so you will be able to upgrade them to high core once you've finished. So let's just do that now. And then once everything's high core, we're going to go ahead with the design. So you can do this however you want. It doesn't really matter too much with the design. The way I like to do it is I go a wall there, you have a little bit there, you can have either boxes on this, you can have whatever you want on this. In my design video, I obviously used a few boxes here and had them just on the side like this. And obviously that box placement can be a lot better than that, but let me just try and make it a little bit better. There we go, like that. Box placement can be a little bit better, and then with a door frame there, you can obviously put your G-door in a way that they hopefully wouldn't be able to reach it, but obviously you could just lock the boxes. That doesn't matter too much, but you can put like electric furnaces in there and stuff like that, just 3 electric furnaces on top as well, up to you. And then for this, we're obviously going to do a normal loot room with a window on TC, so that you can lock that up. And I'm going to keep it open for now so I can show you the upkeep at the end. And then obviously you have your normal box loot room in the corner here with 2 below and a few on top. And then you can also add a few small boxes to the side as well, like so. You can have one in the corner here and one in the corner here, and then the same on top. This one you can put in the door, in the window, and it doesn't matter about placing the window on top of it. And then you can put a window box there as well. Obviously putting frames along here, like so. Right, and then obviously the G-doors go everywhere that you can. You can also put a frame in there as well if you would like. Have a door on that one too. I don't think you can place it with boxes there, so you're going to have to do that before you do the boxes. There you go. So that's the normal loot room. Ideally the workbench goes here, just like so. Workbench goes there, and then you can have another box underneath here as well, and obviously your 3 boxes underneath the, sorry, your 2 boxes underneath the tier 3, just like this. This one can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, but you can get that further in. But yeah, there you go. That's the normal loot room. You can fit up, I think it's about 3 or 4 bags, I think, in the core. If you place them correctly, like you can place one there, place them a bit closer if you wanted to. Probably fit another couple bags in here. Like if I place that more up to the wall, you can definitely fit another bag in. Hold on, let me get this bag placement right. That, and then yeah, there you go. Fit another one there. And fit one in here. Well, so you can live out of this base, but you don't need to. Like this can just be like just a farm base, which you will just put every segment of the base as a farm. But if you're gonna live out of this, you're gonna want some extra bits onto that as well. Right. So once you've got your starter done, the starter can also have this on top as well if you wanted to, and your double door up here normally. I'm going to put a G up there for now. There we go. So that's the starter done. So now we're going to move on to the oh wait, no, I am wrong. Once you have done the bottom part, I'm going to pancake this, just like so, and then every layer in between has a half wall on it. Upgrading all of them to, you can upgrade them to high core if you wanted to, but it doesn't really matter too much. All it is to separate the damage so that they can't splash everything else. Ideally you would upgrade them to metal, but stone is fine as well. Once all of that's upgraded, so in this area you can actually leave this one open, one extra one, but obviously you don't want to leave the TC one open. So if TC's this side, you're going to leave these two open here, and then you're going to upgrade all of these to sheet metal, like so, and then have that like that as well. Now for here, you can do this in two ways. You can have half wall at the top here, like this, have that like that, and have it right there, which is the way I did it, and then have your leader on top of there like that. So for the jump up below, you can either obviously do a ladder hatch here if you wanted to, or for the start, but most people don't really have ladder hatches and things. For the start you can just obviously put down very trusty furnace in the corner if it wants to place. There you go. You can have your furnace in the corner, and then obviously here is even more box space. Like so. Obviously you can fit two small boxes in there as well. Right, there we go. Now the starter's done. Let's move on to the farm segments. So on all of these you're going to want to drop down, and you're going to want to build them up 3 high. Like that. That's as high as you're going to want to go for them. If they're any taller, the base upkeep is just way too much. Now we're going to upgrade all this to stone. And then once all of that is upgraded, I will say that this needs to be open. Like that. And then you're going to have a half wall there, and a jump up there for now at the start. That is just so you can get in the area. And for the doors, you're going to have a frame each side, just like so. And then you're going to have every side as well. And then for the jump up, you're going to have 2 walls on each side. You're going to have 2 walls on each side of this. For this one, you're just going to seal in the roof, like so, and upgrade that. And then once that's upgraded to stone, you're going to have a half wall in here. You can do this before you do the segments, by the way. You don't have to do this in this order. The segments are normally like the last thing you sort of do once you have this jump up, and then because obviously you're going to want to seal this in before, otherwise you won't have a way into your doors and into your base pretty much. So as you can see, it builds up to about here, so you're going to want to seal in the roof. Say once you've done the actual thing, that's when you can seal that in. And then all of this is going to be sealed in as well, just like so. And then you're going to have another jump up above here. And you're going to seal this in as well. Upgrading this, and then upgrading this, and then that's perfect. Right, you're going to have your jump up here. Like that. And obviously you're just going to have your double doors up here for now. And then let's repeat this on this side. There we go. And now let's done on that one. It's like so. And once that's done on all of your sides, it should look a bit like this inside the base. Like this, you have every side the same. Right, so now I will say that you can have each side different. If you're living in this base, what I would recommend is to sort of make this a room. So you can sort of create layers like this. So I'm going to show this as if you are living in this base as well. So you're going to want to build it like this around the sides and have this sealed off here. You're going to want to upgrade these floors to sheet metal, obviously so that no one decides to soft side this if they blow in. and then you can have 2 bedrooms here and here. You can have as many bedrooms as you'd like. If you want to do this a little bit differently, I would recommend having like either a half wall here, or you could have just a full frame and then you have to crouch underneath, and then you can do it from the side, like you could do it from the side like this. Like that, and then just have a G door on that one there. Having your bedrooms inside of this allows obviously easy access to roof, and obviously allows your team to have a respawn when you're in here. And then down below you can have sort of like a cooking area. When I say cooking area, I mean like you can have anything down here if you want. Like you can have your electric furnaces in this area. You can have your mixing tables lining this area, which is what I did in my one. Definitely want an area for the mixing tables, because you're obviously going to be pumping out a load of orties and everything, so you're going to want an area to be able to cook all that sulfur that you're going to be farming with your pure orties. And just fill this area with sort of a load of mixing tables if you want. And then down below you can go fill this in if you're not doing it. If you're not doing it as a farm. Obviously, because it's stone, you can soft side it later if you do change your mind. And then down below the bottom area, I would recommend just making most of this honeycomb, because obviously you're not really going to want to have this lower area to be so vulnerable. Making this extra honeycomb does actually help, and having this on 2 sides, if you're doing like one of the sides, I would recommend having it on the side of the TC, which I haven't done in this one. So you can do that if you want, but yeah, it doesn't matter too much which side you put it on, because it's quite a symmetrical base, so not many people will really know which side your TC is on. So having this would definitely help. And then down here you could either have some extra loot rooms if you wanted to, some secret little loot rooms, which you can do if you would like. Loot room there and a loot room there. Just with some extra box space, because I do admit this base doesn't have too much storage in a secure area. And once that's done, you're going to want to have either a ladder hatch here, so that you can get up, and it also hides the your loot a little bit better on here as a secret little area, like that. There we go. Right. So now we go on to the actual farm. So if you're going to have this as an actual like full-on farm, the way I would do it is I would take away these. These here, you're going to have you are going to have what are they called? You're going to have water pumps, but if you've done this too, like if it's too shallow like me, I've done this a little bit too shallow here, and it doesn't let you place them, as I mentioned at the start of the video. If you did it too shallow and it doesn't work, you can always add like a little like tumour on the side of the base, or just have them outside. It doesn't matter too much, but having them inside just makes it nicer and a little bit easier to do all the wiring and stuff. But anyway, it doesn't matter too much because people don't tend to break them too much. As long as you seal it in, it's fine. But anyway, let's move on to as if you had done them in there. So on these areas, you're going to want to add half wall all along here, and literally every layer on this you're going to want to have half walls. And then obviously we're going to upgrade all these to stone. And then once that's done, you can also have this up the side if you want to. You can have ladders. You can do this however you want. You can have ladder hatches all the way down. I just feel like for traversability around and being able to actually like pick all your plants pretty easily, this is definitely the best way of doing it. I do tend to sometimes have these. It allows you to sort of still move around freely, as well as having like a little platform for you to stand on for you to plant crops and things. But that doesn't matter too much. So if you're going to want to get into these areas here, onto the side, let me still very low. you're going to want to be crouched, and then you can just jump into them, and then you're going to want to fill every single one of these with a square planter box, just placing them in rows. So you can have them however you want to, but I feel like just for aesthetics I like to have them sideways like that, and all of them in the same direction. So let's just fill that in. And once all of these have been filled in, just a little heads up, you're going to need about 30 planter boxes per side, which if you went to Outpost it costs about 900 scraps for a bandit camp. Bandit's not on the server. If you went to Bandit it's about 30 scrap per planter, so if you're going to buy 30 planter boxes, it ends up quite a lot, but it's like very worth it. This is why I only did one side on my farm base design when I actually did it. So you can do another one of these on this side if you want. If you want some more box space, you can add some more box space down the bottom, or more honeycomb if you want to, or you can add another one here. But for the sake of video, I'm just going to keep it on these two for now. And then coming up to the top. Coming up to the top, we're going to add the chutes on the side. So I'm going to show you how to do the chute that includes the ladder hatch. So we're going to build up these on the side here, and you're going to have just a single on this side here. That's sheet metal. Just going to have a single door on the side here, and then this is all going to be upgraded, and this is going to be honeycombed as well, like so. And then you're going to want to add your frames. Oh, not that one. I want to add a frame higher up. You can use ladder hatches on the way up, or at the start you can just use ladders, but I'm going to use ladders for now because it's a lot easier to build with. And then coming up here, obviously still adding your floors. Side, and then just filling that in at the top. And then coming up at the top here, obviously you're going to want to add your ladder hatch at the top as well, like that. And then you're going to build these walls around the sides there. And we're going to build one here. But for this side, you're obviously going to just fill them in. Fill them in just like this, and then they're just going to be complete honeycomb on this side as well, like that, and then like that. And then we're just going to copy that one over here as well, just like that. And then, like I said, I've been very stupid this time, but like I said, try and make sure that your ladder hatch jump up isn't on the same side of the TC. So obviously my TC is right here, so try and make sure that like the ladder hatch is over here or on this side as well. Make sure that it's not on the side of your TC, otherwise it just lowers the, it makes it a lot cheaper to raid. And come around here, you're going to have doors like this, upgrading all of these, making your upstairs shell. Once we've done this, we're going to upgrade this. Oh, no, sorry, you're not going to do that. What am I on about? Destroy that. Please, no one built that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to build these around the edges, just like so. Continuing with pretty much the same design throughout the middle, we're going to create a box in here, keeping all of this enclosed in the build, and then I'm going to upgrade. And now that's stone, we're going to go around the edge with our floors, just like so. And then we're going to upgrade that to stone. And then now that's stone, we've done this part of the thing. So basically for these next parts on this little edge here, if you're going to build every single side as a farm, you're going to do it like this. So you're going to enclose all of these like this, and this is for basically all of your water supplies. Like, so for each side of the farm, you're gonna need quite a bit of water. So, because there's a lot of planters, you obviously probably predicted you're gonna need quite a bit of water for this. So, if you're building this on a river, which is ideal, you won't need water purifiers, but you can build this wherever you want, and you can use water purifiers as well. So, if you have built this on an area where you need water purifiers, the best way of doing this is to have 3 water purifiers on each side. So you're going to need about 3 to be able to pound the right amount of water. And then you're going to need 3 of these as well, which you can fit these in however you want. It doesn't really matter how you do it, but you can fit them in pretty easily. 2 will be alright as well. It's just all like about keeping them like filled, and also making sure that you've got enough. Like if you move these around and stuff, you will obviously be able to fit them in. It's like somehow. If I just do that there, and then this one here. Like I say, by moving them around, you'll be able to fit another one in, but I can't do it at the moment. Like I say, yeah, you will be able to fit them in some way or the other, or you can just do it with two purifiers and 3 things. If you're going to do it like that, then I would recommend having 4 of them. Would recommend having 4 of these, so that you then have definitely enough water for it, and then you can still get over and access all of these. You can use splitters and things and just put all the water in each of them and have it equally come out in each way. So then you're going to copy these over to all of these sides here. Like so. And then coming up here, you're going to have G-doors on these, and basically the idea of this is just so you can get on the roof, really. You're just going to have 3 G-doors on all 3 of those, just like so. Those, so that you can get onto your roof. So ideally for this, what you're going to want to do is you're going to have all of these in the corners. All 3 of those like that, and then you're going to have your wind turbines on all of them, like so. And then once all of these are done, you're going to have, that is pretty much the base design done. So if this is how you're going to leave it, then I would recommend just literally making sure that the whole base is upgraded and you have like a separate base. This is basically for if the whole thing is being used up by planters, which is obviously how it's meant to be used. But if you're using this as a proper base design, then I wouldn't really recommend using it fully, but you can add these onto the sides. I don't know why it's glitching out. Let me try to place them. Add all of these onto the sides here. Oh, I apparently broke that. And then you're going to want to put in metal shot fronts on all of these. So you have a little window peak to be able to see everything else. And then you can also cover these in as well if you want to, like this, using peaks like that, allowing you to have an extra peak on the sides. So that allows you to have a functional roof. Taking heli in this would be a little bit difficult. If you really wanted to take heli, then you can also just go around the middle, adding windows like this, and then just having one of the sides as like an entrance, and then just closing this off. And then upgrading all of it to stone. And obviously if you wanted to, you could upgrade it to metal, which taking heli would be a little bit difficult if it wasn't all upgraded to metal. And then you can add your windows between like that and your G-door or double door, whichever one you prefer. And yeah, that is pretty much the base design done. You're going to want to use one battery per side. It only really takes that much. And then for the water, you're going to use about 4, I think it is, 4 different, what are they called? 4 of the water things for each side. You can probably make it so that it's double, so you could use 6, or if you only have 2 purifiers, then you can use 4. And then if you've got 8 of these, sorry, if you've got 4 of these and you're using a river, then you could probably just use 8 or just 4. And yeah, once that's done, that's pretty much the whole base design complete. And then yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cripple Jesus, thank you, and goodbye.